Hey guys, and welcome back to Ringside Recap. I am your host, Nathan Linda, and let's get started with a brand new week of the house that The Rock built, Friday Night SmackDown. So, y'all, tomorrow is Elimination Chamber, and I'm really excited for Elimination Chamber. I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and give out my call now who I think is gonna win the Elimination Chamber and who I want is gonna win Elimination Chamber for both men and women. For the men, I really want it to be Trick Williams. I think he's going to be a star. He's gonna be the next big star, I believe. But I can honestly see them giving this to Cody just because it's Cody and he makes money. Now for the women's chamber, who I wanted to win, I want Rhea to win, but I can kind of see this going to Alexa because her and Charlotte are finna have this like breakup. So I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be on top of that. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So the show opens up in absolute chaos. We see that Jey Uso gets loaded up into an ambulance with um Jacob Fatu like screaming like who done this, yada 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 yada, and he's going off, and then Nick Aldis is trying to figure out things and Cody trying to figure out things. So they were like, what's going on? And one just it's absolute just going crazy over there. So then Nick Aldis like, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. So then, who comes out? Drew McIntyre. He comes out and starts gloating himself like he normally do for this title reign. He's gloating himself for the Elimination Chamber, saying that he don't care who's gonna win. So then Nick Aldis comes out and he was like, Drew, just going after Drew, just going after him, and saying this, that, and the third to Drew that you need to leave. And then Cody comes out, he's saying, Drew, you're being a punk because you running away. And then Randy comes out, and then Trick comes out, and then Javon comes out. So at this point, they're doing that typical standoff before a big event. And they didn't really say nothing much. It was like, I'm gonna be the man that's gonna win the chamber and go to WrestleMania. No, I'm gonna be the man that's gonna win the chamber and go to WrestleMania. They were doing all that. Really, nothing really to excitedly look for. If you already know this is what WWE do every single time for big pay per views or PLEs or whatever they're calling it now, they always do this. So there's nothing really new. So at the end of it, LA Knight and Trick Williams end up getting into like a scuffle, and then the scuffle they did was so corny. You know how they end up like hitting each other up the ramp? So one throws one big blow, and then they start like running up half of the ramp, and another one does a big blow. That's what they were doing. And it really kind of just like semi walked into the back all awkwardly. And then Randy Orton RKO's Javon and stare downs Cody. And that was the end of that whole segment. Like Nick Aldis, I don't know where he went. He must have went back in the back because they didn't show him at all. And same thing with Drew. They said he was up there, but I don't even know because they didn't show Drew no more after the beginning part when he was gloating himself. So I think who actually ambushed Jay was actually Cody. I really hope it's Cody. I can feel Cody having a heel turn. This would be good for him right now. I'm tired of him being a babyface. Even though he's okay being a babyface right now, but I think it's time for that to be over with. So then we have a quick little segment with Tiffany Stratton and Asuka. Asuka's like, I'm gonna win the chamber because you're not ready for Asuka, and Tiffany time is over. And Tiffany was like, what about you show it to me now? Tonight in the ring. So I guess they're going to have a little match later on tonight. So the first match of the night, we have Solo Sikoa versus Uncle Howie. Now, y'all, this match was so boring. It was so boring. I could not even get into it. I was on the phone the whole time during this match. But at the end, Uncle Howie won. This match was supposed to be a recap from last week of Uncle Howie saying that Solo can't win alone. And it proves the fact that he could not win alone. So at the end of the match, Solo's group MFT came out and kicked Uncle Howie in the face and ran back with the lantern. For people who do not know, the lantern holds significance due to Bray Wyatt, who passed away a couple years ago, and that was his calling card, was always that lantern. He was a great wrestler. I miss him a lot. But yeah, that was the first match. Like I said, really, it was boring. It was nothing to get it. I would give it literally like honestly, a 0 out of 10. I was not watching it. I was not really engaged at all. So, after the match, we end up catching back up with GM Nick Aldis, and Drew McIntyre was basically Nick Aldis just walking Drew out, saying, it's a coincidence that, Jay got hurt, and tomorrow is Elimination Chamber, and Drew was just like, oh well, it's whatever. So then, after Drew's walking off, he bumps into Paul Heyman's group, The Vision. Now, most everybody in The Vision is hurt. Like, all the people they have left is Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So basically, Logan Paul was pleading his case to Nick Aldis. He's like, oh, since Jay is hurt, then I guess I'm going to take over. I'm going to win the chamber. It's going to be me. And Paul's hyping him up like, yeah, it's going to be me. And then Austin Theory in the background is like, just, I don't know, being like the aggressor of the group. I don't know what his role is. But Nick Aldis was like, same thing like he told Drew. It's kind of funny how Jey Uso got hurt before the chamber match, but Logan Paul, I will take your proposition in consideration and I'll make some calls. So then Paul was like, okay. And then Paul Heyman was like, you're going to win the chamber, right? If you get in there, right? He was like, yeah, of course. I want to win, yeah. So that was all with that segment. So we have another segment with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley basically saying that they're going to win their title match later on tonight versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And then, Rhea goes on saying that she's going to win the chamber and she's going to walk in to WrestleMania. And then we have a little pop-up with Jade saying that, well, ain't no one going to have your back when you're going to the chamber. It's just going to be you all alone. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I think I said this last week or a couple weeks ago, that I don't like Jade on paper as a champion. Like I said, I have nothing against her, anything else. But she looked really good tonight. She looked amazing. That's one thing I can say about her. She does look great. That's probably why they put the championship on her. But I'm just saying, for the look-wise, she looked amazing. But then, next we pan on to Nick Aldis on the phone, probably with so-called local hospital to get an update on Jay. So then, Jacob Fatu ended up coming back and saying, Nick Aldis asked Jacob, how was Jay doing? And he's like, oh, you saw what he was doing? He was on the stretcher. And he was like, yeah. And then Jacob Fatu was like, let me just get my hands on Drew. Let me put my hands on him, and then let me take Jay's spot in the chamber instead, so that I can get my hands on him at WrestleMania and win. And Nick Aldis was like basically what he told everyone else earlier. I'll take it in consideration. Now, if this is gonna be going on all night, it's gonna be ridiculous. Like this is crazy. But anyway, the next match of the night was Obafemi versus The Miz. Now, this match was a squash match, so it didn't really do nothing interesting, so I'm not gonna rate it. But the beginning part of the match, you have The Miz try to talk down Obafemi from the match, and Obafemi was not having it. So eventually, Obafemi gave The Miz his finisher, the Fall from Grace, and that pretty much ended that match. Then it cuts to Carmelo Hayes and Dragunov basically talking about how Dragunov wasn't in his ring gear because people who do not know, Carmelo and Dragunov were supposed to have a championship match together for Carmelo's U.S. championship. But then Dragunov was like, I'm going to pass on it tonight because my concerns are with Tama Tonga with them from them jumping him last week. And Carmelo was like, you can get all the opportunities in the world for this championship, but you give me prep talks every week saying about I'm going to lose my championship. It sounds like you need a prep talk for yourself to get yourself back together. So, I don't know what that's about. But since Dragunov isn't going to be in the title match tonight, Carmelo basically has an open challenge to whoever wants the championship shot. So the person who took up on Carmelo Hayes' open championship challenge was actually Matt Cardona. And that match was definitely the better match of the night. I mean, we actually had a good, decent match. So I will rate that match, I'm going to say a 6 out of 10. It was a pretty good match. I wasn't looking at my phone the whole time during this match. I actually watched the whole match. And it was pretty nice. Carmelo Hayes ended up hitting his first 48. And it was really quick. So after the match was over, we have a segment with R-Truth and the rest of some of the random locker room men, basically them doing a little sponsorship with ESPN, telling people, "Hey, to watch Elimination Chamber tomorrow, you gotta be with ESPN Unlimited." And then they were like, "Put your phone out," and then it was going through the whole spiel how to sign up for it. I'm like, what the? Oh my goodness. And the box was also back on SmackDown, even though I thought Adam Pearce told him to send it to Chicago, but now it's back on SmackDown just for, I guess, a little cameo of the box itself. And then at the end, Kit Wilson told everyone that they are toxic, and then we also seen Johnny Gargano planking on like a storage box. Still don't know what is his purpose of doing that. It's honestly stupid. I don't understand what he's doing that for. I think he said he was doing it because he's sad because his tag team partner left to go to AEW. I forgot his name, but he looks like Triple H. But yeah, I think that's the reason why he's sad. But it's still it's stupid. He's gonna go soon. He's probably gonna wait till his contract is over and he's gonna leave too. But yeah. So y'all, the fourth match of the night was Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae, and Jordynne Grace. This match was another boring match. Really nothing exciting going around in the match. During the match, um Johnny was planking on the announcer's table, and eventually, somehow during the middle of the match, he stood up and started walking around the ring. So then Candice got distracted, and Jordan ended up hitting her with a move and got the pin and win. Um, that match, like I said, really wasn't much to it. I'm gonna give it literally a 4 out of 10. Don't know why they even did this match. At this point, they're just wasting time for us for tomorrow. So I don't even know. So then it cuts to Raquel Rodriguez having a interview with Kathy about the Elimination Chamber tomorrow, how the possibility of her and Liv can be both champions on both brands. So then Jade comes out and was like, "It's a good thing that Liv picked Stephanie instead of me, because you're gonna get embarrassed by me if you lose and I win." So all that happened. So then Meechin and BFAB came back out to basically kind of low key bully Jade again, because they did it a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? I really can't remember. But bully Jade again, and Jade was like, do something about it. So then Meechin bucked at her, but then BFAB stopped it, and she was like, "Oh, she's not worth it," or whatever. Then we jump into another segment with Jacob Fatu in the back, working out, getting stretched out for his match tonight. And then Cody basically comes out and tells Jacob, like, "I'm rooting for you. I hope you win. Win this for Jay." And then Sami Zayn comes out and said the same thing. "Yeah, I really hope you win this for Jay, you know, because I know how bad you want to get your hands on Drew, because I want to get my hands on Drew too, because he screwed me. It's like he screwed you." And Jacob was like, "Wait a minute." He didn't screw you over. He screwed me over. He screwed Cody over. He didn't screw you over. You didn't get Claiborne. Me and Cody got Claiborne, and you didn't. So it may seem like he was helping you out to win the qualifier match and, you know, force a win so he can face you. Now, when Jacob said that, I was like, "Oh yeah, he does have a point." He has a point. I forgot all about that. He definitely hit a loophole in that one. So then, um, Jacob ended up walking off, and then Sammy gets frustrated, starts throwing tables and flinging the water over the place. But yeah, I don't know. Since now Jacob brought that up, now I'm kind of looking at Sammy like Sammy might be the one that had jumped Jay. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So the next match of the night was for the Women's Tag Team Championships. It was against Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And y'all, this was most definitely one of the best matches of the night for me. So I'm gonna give it a good 8 out of 10. And the winners of the match ended up being Nia Jax and Lash Legend, making them the new women's tag team champions. So I think this was a good idea. I think it was a good idea for them to win the championship for now, for them being a placeholder. Because don't get me wrong, Io and Rhea, they were good champions for the tag team championship, but I think it was time for them to do something different. I feel like them two together are already big main time champion stars. They're better to me as singles competitors more than tag team champions, but it's not the first time that people have seen that, because for an example, you have Triple H and Shawn Michaels, two big name people coming together and being twice as big as what they were before, when they were even single competitors. So congratulations to Lash and Nia. They're gonna be some good champions for now until the next woman come up and take them. Which I think maybe Alexa and Charlotte, but then I don't know. Like I said earlier, they might break up, but I don't know. So then we had a quick little segment with Charlotte and Alexa, basically them being sad because Lash and Nia won the tag team championships, and then Kiana, James, and Julia came out basically making fun of them, and this segment was a bunch of nothing. And then Jay came and like, oh, good luck to the two women, talking about Kiana and Alexa, and then she walks away, and I'm like, thank God. Thank God we're at the end of this, because them promo cuts are just, I mean, those segment cuts are just, I don't know, they're just boring. So then it was another little segment with Nia and Lash, basically them going to Kathy congratulating them, oh, thank y'all, and then they said next Friday, they're gonna celebrate in the ring, and then that was it. So y'all, we have another little segment with Randy Orton and Aleister Black. This segment was honestly a waste of time. Basically, Randy Orton and Aleister Black are going to have another match, probably next week again against each other. Aleister was basically just toying with Randy, and Randy was like, the voices in my head are getting louder and louder, making a pun off his own theme song, and they're telling me to basically hurt Aleister Black. So this segment was a waste of time. I think now at this point, I think you're trying to add in stuff to fill time at this point, because at the time of this recording, it's like 10:47. So there is not really that much time left for the main event. So I'm pretty sure they're going to rush this. And the main event tonight is Jacob Fatu versus Logan Paul. So we'll see how this match ends. Y'all, the match ends with Logan Paul picking up the win, which really shocked me. Now, the match in whole, I'm not gonna lie, the match, it was a good 7 out of 10. It was a good match. During the match, the mystery masked man came out, but Logan ended up getting a hold of him and unmasking him, and he's like a random man. No one knows who he is. So I'm thinking this is a decoy for probably tomorrow, the Elimination Chamber. That masked man's gonna come out and distract Logan. So then Jacob Fatu was getting ready to do his moonsault, and then Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere and smacked Jacob Fatu in the head with a belt, causing him the match and Logan picking up the win. So now the men's chamber match is now Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and now Logan Paul. So y'all, got to see tomorrow who's gonna win that chamber match, man. And I am going to give my reaction and review on it tomorrow. So after all that, thank y'all for listening to this week's Friday Night SmackDown. I hope y'all liked and enjoyed it. And make sure y'all like and subscribe, And then also subscribe to my other channel, Naja the Ninja's Anime Podcast. Give that a look at if you like anime, or your friends or family like anime and like to hear my review on some of the anime that's out for this season. Or just to listen, just to give your opinion if you really want to watch it or not. Give that a look, and I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. So I will see y'all tomorrow for the chamber. Don't know when I'm gonna post it. I don't know if I'm gonna post it that night or I'm gonna post it early in the morning that Sunday. So y'all, love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters. Bye.